All right, this is John Cole, the OKRaw.com, through another exciting episode for you. I'm coming at you from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm here at the Baltimore Convention Center for a very important reason. I'm here for the Natural Products Expo East, right behind me in the Convention Center. And what I'm gonna do next in this episode, actually go around the whole Convention Center, which is basically, this is the trade show for the health food industry. So if you're a health food store owner, a vitamin shop owner, you know, you work for Whole Foods, you're here trying to find the latest and greatest products that you'll be able to bring into your store and then sell the public, which is you guys. So hopefully there's good buyers for these stores. They're finding some of the coolest stuff and then they're gonna bring them into the store. But unfortunately, I find many buyers are just, you know, they got so many things to do. They're not finding all the unique products that are truly gonna be healthy for you, because I wanna remind you guys that this is the health food trade show for the business of health. It doesn't mean that everybody in there is optimally healthy, or they're eating a large percentage of plants or raw plants, all this kind of stuff. There's plenty of people outside still smoking and all this stuff, and I hate when I walk outside having to walk fast and like, how could you even smoke at a health food trade show? It's not healthy, but there's plenty of other people that are, you know, maybe not the healthiest behind the booth selling products to you guys, you know, so it's tough. So it's tough, you know, there's over 1,000 booths in there, and what I do is I walk the whole show, maybe the first day, the second day, find out and talk to the people that are exhibiting, that have some of the best products. And then on the third day, I make a video for you guys, sharing you guys the best products inside there, right? And that's what I'm simply gonna do in this episode. We're gonna go ahead and head inside. I'll give you a glimpse of what it looks like. And then I'm gonna share the products with you that I believe, you know, coming from a natural health standpoint, me being into a plant-based raw foods diet now for the last 20 years, the products that can most benefit you in your life. You know, and I want to always encourage you guys to eat more plants, eat more fruits and vegetables, and decrease the amount of other things you guys are eating in your diet. In any case, let's go into this year's Natural Products Expo East and show you guys the best plant-based products that will improve your life. So this is what it looks like inside the trade show here. It's just like totally busy, totally like a lot of people scurrying everywhere. And on the last day, which is when I'm filming, everybody's getting like free samples of stuff, which is really exciting. But I'm here to share with you guys the best vendors or exhibitors at this whole trade show. So let's go ahead and check out one of the best ones that I found this year. So now for me, it's actually breakfast time. It's early in the morning and I'm gonna make my breakfast, and I thought I'd share what I'm making with you guys with actually a brand new blender that I've never seen before. So what I'm gonna do is I have some pre-made orange juice that I just made in the Tri-Best Citrus Star juicer, and I'll have a whole bunch of kale. So I'm gonna blend these into like a green smoothie in a brand new blender that works unlike any other. So let me go ahead and take you guys over and show you guys this new blender. All right, so yeah, it's super crowded in here, but this is the booth I wanted to share with you guys. It's actually called the New Well Company, and what they have is they have some unique and innovative products from Taiwan. And they have, a juicer, which is a centrifugal ejection juicer that runs at low RPMs with a DC motor, so it's quite quiet. And I'm not really going to talk about that today. What I will talk about is their brand new spring blender. Most blenders you may have seen before, like a Vitamix, and run at high speed, like 20,000, new blenders, so sometimes 30,000 RPMs. This is completely different, and let me show you guys how this works. This is the standard blender base, that I'm going to be using in a second, and this is unlike any other blender, because if we lift this blender base up, what you'll see is the blade, right? That's normal like a regular blender, but this blade is different because not only does this have a blade to cut up things, but this works more like our teeth and grinds things up. I mean, when we chew things up, we run it on very low RPM, so this does not oxidize the food that much. The problem with conventional blenders is they run so fast that they oxidize the nutrients, and in a recent test, there's 50% less cancer-fighting ability in something made in a high-speed blender versus a slow juicer. So this blender, unlike others, run at 3,000 RPM and grinds. So if we look at how this works, there's a grinding plate here, and that's the bottom. The top of the grinding plate is underneath here inside the base of the carafe. So as this blender is running, it's not only cutting, but it's also grinding up things really slow. So, in theory, this sounds really good, but that's why I brought some items this morning, my breakfast, to test to see how fine a consistency it really grinds it up. And if it really grinds it up and fine of a particulate as, say, a Vitamix, then this is definitely a superior unit. The other thing that's amazing is that this will also save you electricity and conserve the environment. This is about 300 watts. The standard Vitamix or something is like 1,580 watts. So this is, significantly different. Runs at less wattage, and it doesn't need as much power because it's not going as fast. It's going at only 3,000 RPMs. So what I want to do next is actually make my morning smoothie for you, my green smoothie. We're going to go ahead and take this out. And just like the Vitamix, it has a nice tamper to help push things in. So always when loading up the blender, you want to put the liquids in first. So we got about 32 ounces of fresh squeezed OJ. Always important in a blender too, you need to remember you need to have liquids, right? You need liquids in a blender, not just solids. Next we're going to go ahead and put in all my organic kale, stems and all. Now we're going to go ahead and put the top on, and then we're just going to go ahead and turn this guy on. I want you guys to look at the action when this is running, right? So this is running really slow, and it's blended everything up pretty good, and it's actually, blending. At the same time, it's also grinding, and this is very unique. If you guys look at that on the inside, basically it's spinning things around, it's sucking it down in, it's grinding it, and then it actually the blended mixture comes up through the clear handle. I don't know if you guys can see that, the clear handle, and then it spits it out up on the top. You guys see that? It's literally grinding it up and then putting it up the handle and then spitting out the top to basically revolve so the mixture keeps getting circulated around so it's able to grind up properly. This is kind of a cool feature, that no other blender has, but the problem I see is that, how are you really going to clean up in this little channel here? So I can see there's still pretty large particulate in here, and because this does run at a lower RPMs, you may need to run it a bit longer, than say a Vitamix that runs at a high RPMs. So we're going to go ahead and let this run for a little while, and then we're finally going to go ahead and cut it off to see the result. So one of the cool things about this blender is that once it's running, you can actually just dispense while it's running, which is a new feature. Normally you have to turn off your blender to dispense some. And one of the ways this is actually more effective is actually once it's running, you're going to go ahead and let some of it out, and all the stuff near the bottom where it's fully blended, will come out first, and then you're going to let it run some more to grind up all the particulate that has not yet been blended. So we're going to go ahead and try this. I mean, it's working pretty good. There's a lot of particulate still left in there. I think I don't want to run the blender too much longer because besides from the RPM, you want to minimize the time you're processing the things. All right, so now I want to go ahead and dispense the rest of my mixture, and I like to have this as a little spigot, and everything comes out. One of the challenges I see, is that it's actually quite frothy and quite aerated, which is not super optimal. So although it does run at a low RPM, which is good, like all the excess, foam is definitely not a good thing. That's showing like aeration. And so if you guys noticed, I added a whole thing of the orange juice with some kale, and now I've actually have a larger volume because there's so much air infiltration into the mixture. So let's go ahead and taste it and see how well of a job it did.
I have so much product.
Well, it definitely tastes good, and I'm glad I made my breakfast today. But there is still some particulate of kale that's not fully broken down. But at the retail price of $300, I think it can meet a need for people that want to process their food and blend their food at a lower than normal RPM. So if you want to learn more about this grinding spring blender, you're going to want to visit the website newell.net. That's NUWELL.net. Alright, so next I want to show you guys a really cool raw foods booth. Now, I encourage you guys to eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and those are my favorite raw foods, but occasionally I like to indulge in some raw food treats, some snacks, and there's so many different companies that have kale chips and this and that, and I'm only showing you guys my favorite one. And actually, this company's been in business for a long time. One of the cool things is like when I went on our first date about 6 years ago, I went to the movie theater, and since I don't eat popcorn since it's cooked, right, I went to the health food store, and actually I bought their product, actually the Tempura raw, which I'll show you guys in a second, and that was like my popcorn instead of eating the popcorn, right? And I want to go ahead and show you guys. So they have like a wide selection of different products. So I want to go ahead and show you guys that Tempura raw that I really like, because I mean, people know about kale chips, and kale chips are so normal, but this company's been doing this, dehydrating other foods for a long time. They got, the onion rings. So I really like raw onion rings. They got the Tempura raw which is a mixture of different vegetables, including zucchini, yams, onions, daikon, bell pepper. Definitely some good stuff. And they got a whole lot of kale chips. So, you know, I've been coming by this booth the last couple of days and getting samples of different things. Nice and crunchy, super delicious. But even better than this stuff, they got a couple other things I want to share with you guys. They got the normal flax crackers, but they got these Nori bites. So this is something I really like to do. They take Nori and they dehydrate a little topping on top. I mean, these are really nice and crunchy and have a really good mouth texture in your mouth. Also, they taste amazing. But the coolest product they have that nobody else has, it's these guys. These raw vegan Poppadoms. So these raw vegan Poppadoms, I don't know what a Poppadom is, it's some kind of something. But these are made out of these are made out of sprouted lentils. So I think every raw food should eat more sprouted beans. And not all beans can be eaten raw, but lentils can. And these Poppadoms will get you to eat more sprouted lentils. They taste like one of those rich crackers that I used to taste like when I was a kid, but it's like totally raw. They're totally amazing. Of course, they also got things like the kale crackers, herb flax crackers, and of course the quinoa crackers. So if you want to learn more about the awesome foods, tempura, the onion rings, the kale chips, the herb flax crackers, the Poppadoms that I like so much, the quinoa crackers, you want to visit them at awesomefoods.com. So I'm looking around the trade show trying to share with you guys some really cool products, but you know, the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, you know, a trade show like this or any kind of raw food we want to be eating is really not sold in the package. We really want to be eating things that are fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, things that need no ingredient labels. So some of my favorite booths at this event I'll share with you guys next actually. The first one of which is Omega and Excalibur. And they provide the tools that allow you to eat more fruits and vegetables. And that's what I really want you guys to do, even if you don't get any of the raw food snacks or anything that you see in this episode. You want to get one of these appliances that are literally life-saving. And you know, I attribute juicers to saving my life. So what's new at the Omega and Excalibur booth this year is the all-new Omega TWIN30S. And this juicer is so easy, even a kid could do it. So we got Tanner Fields and Talia Fields over here, and check them out. They're brother and sister working in cooperation, unlike me and my brother that would be fighting, to juice in the Omega Twin Gear Juicer. And look, the amazing thing about the Twin Gear Juicer, literally you can shove the wheatgrass in there and it juices it right up. And look at this, I want you guys to do a close-up on this pulp here. This pulp is so dry, it's totally amazing. So this Twin Gear is really good at juicing the wheatgrass and also the sprouts. So do you guys have any comments about the Omega Twin Gear Juicer?
It's really easy to use. And they like shreds and stuff.
And do you think everybody should buy Omega Juicer?
Yeah, they should buy like all of them.
Awesome, yeah. So the Omega TWIN30S, a juicer so easy, even a 10 and 11-year-old could do it. All right, so now I'm gonna share with you guys the best booth at this whole event. And it's actually only a half booth, it's not even a full booth. And it's sad that most people at this event are actually just walking by this booth, but this is like, you know, groundbreaking research and information that everybody, and you guys are watching this, you guys are getting this because nobody else is. And this booth really doesn't look like much. What it is in here, they have, you know, this is basically a food that is actually high in germanium. This is a food inside here that's high in ruthenium, and this is a food in here that's high in platinum. And why this is very important is because these are some of the same noble metals or trace minerals that are delivered under chemotherapy, and one of the reasons why chemotherapy works, and that's why they give, you know, cancer patients chemotherapy to deliver these minerals. So literally this is, you know, basically through food, you know, it can be a medicine. And like Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. This is food in here, and I'll share with you guys what it is in a minute, that is literally medicine. And I believe every food being grown today should be a medicine, but it's unfortunate that the quality of the food in today's age is really poor quality. It has low nutrition, low trace minerals, because growers are not adding these nutrients into the soil, especially in these, you know, higher than normal amounts that would occur in nature. as a dietary supplement that can have significant positive effects against diseases, in my opinion. The only thing in here, if we open this up, is look, it's just a bag of green powder. This is powdered lettuce that is high in germanium. And this is some expensive lettuce. I think a kilo of this stuff, you know, sells for like $5 grand or something. And so yes, this is some really expensive stuff, but you know what? You don't need a kilo of it. So I want to show you guys this. Check it out over here, all right? So this shows how nutritious in certain minerals this basically food or lettuce is. So here's the bioavailable germanium product. Walmart lettuce organic mix is 10 parts per billion, and theirs is 4,320 parts per billion in germanium. That's your germanium-rich lettuce. The molybdenum is 794, and their, you know, lettuce that's, you know, basically food that is a medicine, in my opinion, is 33,700. 33,000. I mean, it's significantly more. And the vanadium, 270 for Walmart lettuce organic, and theirs is 1,090. And their zinc, it's 3 times higher in zinc than organic lettuce that you're buying at the store. Is their specially grown lettuce in special soils. So the main thing that makes this, the lettuce that they grow, different is the fertilizer they're using, and it's an organic fertilizer, and they've found a way, a specific and unique way, to take minerals, to basically take those minerals with some microbes and compost them, ferment them, whatever they do, and then they feed these nutrients to the plants, that then the plants take up the nutrition in there. So instead of taking a vitamin and mineral supplement, we should all be getting our nutrition from our food, but it's just not happening. So I'm glad they've developed this technology to deliver certain minerals, you know, to the plants, so that they can have really high quality plants, which, you know, when our bodies get the right nutrition, hopefully in the form of plants, you know, our bodies can do amazing things. So, I mean, they have little samples here. They're not giving these out generally, but I got a sample. And this is their bioavailable platinum, and this is just, once again, lettuce. And each of their different products are grown in different, you know, greenhouse beds. Their soils cost incredibly a lot of money to basically put platinum, which is a precious metal, and they combine it, and they basically make it bioavailable, and they feed this organic fertilizer to the plants. The plants take it up, and now they have a platinum one. And they've separated each one of these, the ruthenium and the germanium, because, you know, there's data out there from the USDA that shows, like, there's certain minerals that may be lacking when certain disease situations occur. So each one of these are, you know, designed for specific situations that people may be happening and having. So I'm going to go ahead and taste some platinum. This is also a pill that you could take. I don't like to take the pills. I like to have the green powder. So inside here, it's simply green powder. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to put it in my mouth and let you guys know what high platinum lettuce tastes like. I taste the lettuce. It tastes like a butter lettuce. I mean, it just tastes like lettuce, green powder. It doesn't taste anything special. But I mean, imagine if cancer patients could now take lettuce. So on some of the more valuable, you know, minerals, like the trace minerals that I was talking about, you know, they grow the food, and then they'll actually sell the food. But what they want to do is actually create a fertilizer product that home gardeners and people in industry can use to basically enrich certain minerals into their plants. So they have testing, and like a little book that I saw the other day, where they actually, you know, use this very fertilizer right here. And this is their product. It's their soil conditioner. And this soil conditioner is actually known as the GTF, or glucose tolerance factor. And what this fertilizer does is actually contains the trace minerals that have been identified that people with, say, type 2 diabetes may need in their life, right? So they know if you got diabetes, you're supposed to take chromium because you might not have enough. Well, you could take a chromium supplement all day long, and it could be like 1,000% of your US RDF chromium, but just because it's in the supplement doesn't mean your body's gonna absorb, because it's in a non-food state, right? With this, you take these minerals, this fertilizer, you fertilize your radishes, for example, and now you're growing radishes that'll be high in chromium, vanadium, molybdenum, zinc, sulfur. And so you're gonna have basically radishes that will give you the nutrients you're missing. And you know, the cause of the diabetes is probably not getting the minerals, but also, you know, doing the wrong things. So we want to get the right minerals, and then also do the right things, like eat a fresh fruit and vegetable based diet, fresh plant based diet, and not do the processed foods and animal foods in excess like most Americans, right? And so they're offering this, and this treats up to 1 cubic yard of soil, and this stuff is $140. So, I mean, this was designed specifically for the purpose of TF, for glucose tolerance factor, and hopefully one day he's going to have different products that can address other certain conditions by growing healthy food. And that's my whole message, you know. This is why I teach you guys gardening. This is why I add trace minerals into my garden, so that I get all the different minerals that my body may need to remain healthy. And so I'm glad that he's doing this work, because there's nobody else doing this work. And the main thing I didn't tell you guys yet is that the USDA has data on you know, when you have certain mineral deficiencies, you're likely to get this disease condition. And the USDA has already done all this research, and he's just basically finding a way to not do this in a drug, not do this in chemotherapy, but by growing healthy food. Because in the end, healthy food makes healthy people. And I want to encourage you guys to start growing your own food, so you can have more healthy food. If you want to learn more about the work they're doing here, you're going to want to check them out at naturallynoble.com. All right, so now another booth that I want to show you guys right here. It's a TriBest booth, and one of the normal fixtures here at the TriBest booth that's not here this year, I'm sad to announce, is my friend Steve Meyerowitz, known as the Sprout Man. So they have, you know, a little sign for him, but basically, unfortunately, just a couple weeks ago, Steve was involved in a head-on collision. He didn't lose his life due to, you know, any kind of illness or sickness, but he lost his life due to a head-on collision. And so I want to encourage you guys to own a safe car and be careful out there, because life is very precious. Steve will be greatly missed, you know, teaching people about living in raw foods and sprouting and juicing and all this stuff. So yeah, be careful out there, and remember, your life is very precious, as well as the lives of other creatures on the planet as well. In any case, I want to go ahead and share with you guys some of the new products that are now available, and actually a new product that's actually just being announced at this show. So the products that are now available at TriBest that are newly released is the Sedona Express Dehydrator and the all-new Solostar 4 Dehydrator. I want to go ahead and talk about the Sedona Express Dehydrator first. So of all the different Sedona dehydrators that they have here, different models, I like the Sedona Express the most, because it is redesigned, and they have actually more powerful fan in there instead of two smaller fans. They have one nice large powerful fan. In addition, they now have the stainless steel trays, and this is the true raw foods dehydrator you will want to buy, that has actually overheat protection, so it'll never exceed the 118 degrees or whatever temperature you set it at. In addition, it has 2 temperatures. So what this means is you will reduce your dehydration times while maintaining, you know, your food in the raw food status under 118 degrees. So that's really cool. In addition, it has a light on the inside, and it's a more compact design, you know, that's not quite as wide, that's a little bit as tall. And here's some beautiful dehydrated oranges they have on here. Now, aside from the Sedona Express, it's really cool. They got the all-new Solostar 4 juicer. That's been one of my favorites in the kitchen lately. I've been making many videos about it and how it works, and comparing it to other brands and other juicers to show you guys how they work. You can learn more about the appliances at my other YouTube channel called Raw Foods, or youtube.com/rawfoods, which is where I compare the juicers. And the Solostar 4 single auger juicer, you know, makes the most green juice out of any juicer I've tested to date. So this is actually quite impressive, does quite a good job, and it's you know, quite easy to clean too, because there are less parts. Now the next thing I want to show you guys, actually TriBest's all new product that's like no other. So let's head over to the other side of the booth. So the all new product that TriBest is coming out with that makes healthy living easy is the TriBest Souvant Souvide machine. And what this does, this allows you to uncook your food, or cook it, because it does go really high in the temperature, and basically heat your food up to 118 degrees and not any hotter. So how this does this, it has a very powerful 1,000 watt motor in there that circulates this water in here that is basically heated up to a precise temperature that you desire. So you can see on this little readout here It says 118.2, and it has the cook time, so you can set the temperature and how long you want to cook it for. So out of this machine yesterday, I had zucchini that was gently heated at 118 for 2 hours. And it really made a texture that I've never had before in raw foods, because it kind of like heated it up, broke it down a little bit. So like if there was some marinade on it, it would remind me of like sauteed zucchini, but it's all still keeping the produce raw because it's not going above 118 degrees. So what they do is they basically take the produce and you put it inside a plastic bag that's been taking the air out, food saved, and then you just immerse it in here. In addition, in the back here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but they also have a mason jar that they're heating some food in there, some tomatoes looks like, so that you can create new and exciting textures in your raw foods diet. So this is really cool that they're doing this. So I really look forward to this machine coming out and getting a sample model. This will not be out until near the end of the year. And just yet another way to eat more raw foods, get more fresh fruits and vegetables in you, thanks to the healthy people at TriBest. So now I want to show you guys another booth that actually provides you appliances where you can process your fruits and vegetables so that you will eat more of them. And so this is the Kuvings booth, and the Kuvings, they have the new Juice Chef juicer that actually I'll be showing you guys in a minute. They're all new commercial NSF certified for use in juice bars, slow juicer. But before I show you guys that, that's going to be quite expensive. I want to show you guys their new blender that'll be just being announced now, that hopefully will be out really soon. It's actually over here. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the all-new Kuvings Premium Smart Blender. And here it is right here. So this guy's actually nice and heavy, and this actually is 1500 watts, and this is a BPA-free container, and they're telling me, and I haven't tested yet, it's more powerful than the vitamix and works more efficiently than the vitamix. So that's really exciting. It also runs faster than the vitamix. This runs at 32,000 RPMs. So that's really fast. So hopefully that'll blend things up very fast and you don't have to run it that long. Now the reason why I like this smart blender is because there's several different options that you have. It has on and off, so you can turn it on, and then it has like an old-fashioned volume control, so you could put it on minimum and have it go really slow, or you could crank it up to maximum. And man, that is really moving. It also has pre-programmed features, so it has a pulse feature that you just, it'll pulse. And then it has a smoothie feature to make smoothies, and a juice feature where it'll actually just also, blend things up into a juice-like consistency. So I'm really excited about the all-new Kuvings Premium Smart Blender, and I hope to be testing it soon. As soon as I do, you can check for the video on my other YouTube channel, Raw Foods, which is connected to my Discount Juicer channel. And if you do need to buy a juicer, I do encourage you guys to support me and my work by making your purchase at my website, discountjuicers.com, which allows me to make the videos like this. And because I want to go over to the new Kuvings commercial model and show you guys some of the new features and how it juices larger apples than ever before. So now I want to show you guys the all-new Kuvings Juice Chef juicer, and that's this on this side. So as you guys know, I've already been selling and have videos on the Kuvings Whole Slow juicer, which is this side. Now this is the home model, right? It could fit up to 3-inch diameter apples right into the top, and no problem whatsoever. Now the home unit only has a 30-minute duty cycle. So if you guys are thinking about owning a juice bar, you can't get a home juicer for a juice bar because it doesn't have the commercial certifications. Plus it just can't run that long. So what you're going to want to get is the all-new Juice Chef juicer that has a larger feed chute. So it has a 3.5 wide feed chute, so it could accept nice large apples. 90% plus apples on the market are this size, not this smaller size, and that's a big size difference. And this one has an 8-hour continuous duty cycle. So if you're extreme juicing, and I don't even juice 8 hours straight, this is the juicer you want to get if you have a commercial operation. You could run this machine for 8 hours straight and it'll keep juicing. This one, if you ran for 8 hours, it'd probably burn out and it wouldn't be covered under warranty because you're using it way too much. So this machine is expected to retail at about $1,100. It's the world's first commercial slow juicer that runs at a low RPM with the wide 3.5-inch feed chute. So you're just going to drop this in, the cool thing is about this machine, there's no pusher. You drop it in, you push it down, and check it out. This apple gets juiced up, and this is the fastest slow juicer on the market. Look at that. You just take these guys, it feeds automatically in, and we're creating some delicious apple juice. World's first commercial slow juicer, 8-hour, you know, continuous use. Look at this. It could not be easier to juice. No pusher, whole apples getting ground up, making some delicious apple juice. And I always want to encourage you guys to make your fresh juice instead of buying any kind of packaged or pre-bottled juices, you know. Freshest is always the bestest. So now I want to share with you guys like the second most important booth at this entire event. I mean, there's over 1,000 booths, and I've picked this one as the second most important. You guys saw the first most important already, but it's this booth here, and it's actually just known as the Santa Hemp Juice. And here it is, a glass of the hemp juice. This is natural hemp, 100% natural raw hemp juice, rich in omega 3 and 6, full of vitamins and minerals, highest concentration dose of CBD, and that's a cannabidiol. And if you might be thinking, but John, the hemp, isn't that like the marijuana? Well, don't freak out, man. Like, you guys eat hemp seeds, right? You guys know that hemp seeds are healthy, right? Well, they take, you know, instead of getting the hemp seeds, they take the hemp leaves off the industrial hemp that does not contain the psychoactive THC content in there. They take the leaves and they process it in the field and they get it off raw, and then they basically juice them with like an auger juicer that you guys saw earlier in this episode, right? Slow juicer. And then they take the frozen juice, and they can't really sell frozen juice because it's too hard to ship and thaw out and all this stuff. So they take it and they do the next best thing. They freeze dry it. So they suck out at cold temperature all the liquids, and you're left with a freeze dried powder juice of a product that you literally cannot grow yourself in the United States because it's illegal to grow hemp. And unless you have a medical card in certain states, or it's legal in your state to grow it, and you could juice it. And the reason why the hemp is so important is because there are nutrients in the hemp and the cannabis that you're not going to get anywhere else. And once again, this will not get you high. This would not be allowed by, you know, DEA or anything if it did contain some psychoactive properties. So they test every batch for THC content, which there's none, but there's many other properties in the hemp plant that are beneficial. So I want to show you guys the product that you guys could get now available in the USA. Now this is the Santa hemp juice. This is the US packaging. This is already available in Europe. And this is a vegan, raw, live food on the back. Non-psychoactive hemp juice powder. And this is what you're gonna get, you know. You're gonna get little capsules, and inside the capsules is this powder. Now this powder, what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna put it up here, and then you're gonna sniff it. All right, just kidding. Not sniffable, won't make you high. This is not a drug. This is a green juice powder. So much like juicing kale and freeze drying kale juice, you know, which you could do that. I would encourage you guys to grow your own kale and juice your own kale, because you can't do that legally. But unfortunately, the only way you're gonna get hemp juice is by buying it at this time, because it is highly regulated. You can't grow your own hemp legally. And so that's why this is so important, because there are specific cannabinoids in this hemp juice that we have cannabinoid receptors. And believe it or not, you know, in mother's breast milk, there are cannabinoids in there, and our receptors are not getting filled because we're not eating this food in our lives. And how the cannabinoids work, they're basically like, imagine if you had your TV and your TV was broken. Either there had 0 volume or 100% volume. How the cannabinoids work is they actually act as a regulator of volume control to tune things up and down as your body needs it. And without this, your body may not be functioning properly. So I want to encourage you guys to eat a diversity of raw foods. So I'm glad that now you could eat your own, you know, cannabis juice to get the beneficial properties of the leaves, right? My diet is all about eating greens and fruits and vegetables. The leaves are very important. So now I'm going to go ahead and eat some of these, this leaf juice powder. Look at that right there. Cannabis juice. You could tell a product's freeze-dried when it literally melts on your mouth. Now I might be incriminating myself a little bit here, but what it tastes like in my mouth is what it used to smell like, you know, when I grew something in my college room apartment. That's what it tastes like. It reminds me of cannabis, like the smell I get. It's a bit strong, so unless you're hardcore like me, you'd want to mix it in some juice or something like that. but it tastes really good. And when I had this for the first time just 2 days ago here, I like felt different. Like this actually affected me in a way that most other foods don't. And maybe because it's something that my body really needs and it's not getting for all these years of my life, because until now, no products like this have been available to everywhere in the United States legally. So I want to encourage you guys to always increase the diversity of foods that you're eating, and hemp, industrial hemp with no THC content with the essential fatty acids, because some of the seeds also get juiced when they're making this product, and it's so healthy for you. So to learn more, you want to visit them at santahempjuice.com. All right, so this is the end of the expo this year, and everybody's packing up. You could hear tape guns going off and people boxing up all their stuff to go home. And I wanted to leave you with my final thoughts of this event this year. There wasn't a whole lot of new stuff that I want to share with you guys. And a lot of the stuff here, you guys really don't even need, right? I mean, there's a health food industry that you guys really don't need. And what I want you guys to remember about this is that, there's places selling juices, there's places selling hummus, there's places selling garden burgers, there's places selling every kind of thing. And the whole thing is that you don't need any of this stuff. These are all convenience foods. You can make your own garden burgers at home out of whole food ingredients and then make them yourself. You can make your own juices at home and make them yourself instead of buying a pre-made juice. And we all have this choice each and every day, and I want to basically let you guys know to make the choice to take the time to invest in your health, because buying pre-made things, whether that's raw food, kale chips, or anything else, right, it's not going to be as healthy as what you could do for yourself if you process and buy the produce or the whole foods yourself, or even better yet, grow your own foods and then take those inside, process them in your own juicer to have the highest quality nutrients, right? And as you guys saw, just some of the growing practices could greatly influence. You could have pharmaceutical grade nutrients in a food, which is what nature wants to provide for us. But unfortunately, with the depleted soils, this is not happening. And this is why it is so important for me to teach you guys organic gardening and the highest quality organic gardening to grow the highest quality food, right? So I want you guys to, minimize the processed foods in your life and eat more fruits and vegetables. And even if you're not going to get rid of all the processed foods, by the inch it's a cinch, by the yard it's hard. I like to teach you guys one step at a time. Eat an extra apple and reduce the amount of things that aren't so healthy for you. And you guys know what that is. I don't need to tell you guys that. So eat more fruits and vegetables, whether you want to juice them, blend them, eat them whole, and eat less of the processed stuff. Yes, even some of the stuff that's in this haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please let me know. Please give me a thumbs up, let me know. I'll continue to make more videos at the Natural Product Expos to share with you guys the best products that I like, so that you guys can enhance your health by using them, looking them up, and getting more contact from the manufacturers. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below to be notified of my upcoming episodes that I have coming out, and be sure to check my past episodes. I'll put links down below to all the previous Natural Products Health Expos that I've done in the past, so you can learn about some of my favorite products at those expos as well. So once again, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. This is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, coming at you from the 2015 Woodstock Fruit Festival here in New York. And one of the reasons why I like the Woodstock Fruit Festival is I get to meet new friends, but also see old ones